You Are Possible Golden Book Club. Today's book is Black Ballerinas, My Journey to Our Legacy, by Misty Copeland and illustrated by Selena Barnes. Misty Copeland was 17 years old the first time she saw a black ballerina grace the cover of a magazine. The ballerina was Houston's ballet principal dancer, Lauren Anderson. Seeing someone who looked like her had a profound impact on Misty, as it confirmed for her that she was not alone or the only. Misty was 28 years old and a soloist at American Ballet Theatre when she first learned of ballet pioneer Raven Wilkinson. This introduction and later their deep friendship were the motivation and support Misty needed to become the first female African American principal dancer of American Ballet Theatre. On her way to become a trailblazer and a dance icon in her own right, she has long recognized and embraced her responsibility to make sure the stories of the women who paved the way to make her success possible are not forgotten. While certainly not an exhaustive list, this beautiful book is a celebration of 27 dancers of color who have influenced Misty on and off the stage in order to share their legacies with future generations. Like many young women growing up, I struggled to find my place and voice in the world, but Black was the one label I confidently wore with pride. It was one of the only things that was tangible and made sense in my very chaotic life. This was true until I discovered ballet at the age of 13. Ballet would provide a natural and strong identity for me, and throughout high school, I was simply known as the ballerina. I entered the world and was completely immersed in the beauty, blinded by my love and passion and protected by my teachers, who created a bubble for me to exist in, to focus solely on my training. It was a shock to my system when I joined American Ballet Theatre 4 years later, and I was no longer being shielded from the reality that I was a Black girl in a very white ballet world. When I became a professional ballet dancer with American Ballet Theatre 20 years ago, my journey of true self-identity began. I spent the first decade of my career alone, the only Black woman in a company of 80-plus dancers. I struggled to find my voice and define who I was in this space. I attempted to find others like me. I dug, I read, and I researched, uncovering so many of the Black ballerinas who had came before me, dancers whose stories have not been told in earnest. So many of these women helped me to understand myself and discover my history. Part of my mission is to bring awareness to the contributions of Black ballerinas, to give a sense of the rich histories of those who may not have been documented in ballet history books, yet whose careers and legacies are no less valuable and inspiring. This is in no way a comprehensive list of Black ballerinas. This is a list that is personal to my journey, and hopefully a starting point for others to begin to do their own research. When discussing Black and brown ballerinas, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge and highlight the real issues of colorism, both inside and outside the Black community, and how it has impacted what is represented on stage. There are varying forms of privilege in the world. I acknowledge that being biracial and or lighter skinned is a privilege both in the world and in ballet. This privilege does not extend just to me, but has dictated access and opportunity throughout our history, and so often not equitably. Black dancers are not a monolith, but it is my hope that the success of any of us will ultimately allow for the success of all of us. In this book, I'm going to share my personal stories about the connections to and the experiences with these groundbreaking women. Here are intimate snapshots of my discovery of and relationships to these women. I am infinitely grateful for their legacies. This is my bow to these amazing dancers, Misty Copeland.